G'day, my name's Chris. Welcome back to my shed. It's been a while. Welcome back to Flat Tank Journey. Takes a bit to find something you like. I've been gone for, I don't know, a couple of years, maybe more. A few people have contacted me and I've done a few things, you know. I had free bikes day that I collected, a Suzuki Across, and I've got a couple of other bikes that I've been playing with, but they're not like these ones. This is real life. It takes ages to find a project, and it takes ages to be motivated to buy another project bike. To find one that you think you can complete, and the more grey hair I get, there's a bit there, the less drive you have. You know, it gets harder and harder every year. So this popped up over the last, I'm going to say 18 months. I saw it for sale in Queensland through the guy I bought my Elliot off, Mikey. Mikey was selling this for his neighbour. And it was probably a little more than I wanted to spend, but there was a bit more with it than what you see here. Anyway, I sort of looked at it and then decided, no, I didn't want to go that far. Then I'm friends with Mikey on Facebook, and Mikey put up a picture of it looking pretty much like this. Wow, looks fantastic. He'd parted out some of the spares. He had another tank. He had different engine and a few other bits and pieces and a gearbox, which it shouldn't have. It's a direct drive. And he got it to this point. And I said to him, what's it going to take to own it? And Mikey and I agreed. And he's a horse trader. He's a dealer of sorts. He likes vintage bicycles and veteran bicycles. So it came to live with me in Colac in Victoria, in Australia, of course. And I really haven't done a lot to it. So pretty much as you see it now, with the exclusion of a fuel tap and a pipe, is how I got it. The bike's pretty right. It's the tank, the frame, the front end are all correct. And the rims, I believe, are correct. But they've been relaced with a modern hub to make it more rideable, usable, street friendly. And if you're a big fat guy like me, you want it to be, you know, semi-usable for a tiddler. The engine is correct, but not correct. It is not the engine that came with the bike originally when it left Chas Hay and Sons in Tasmania, in Australia. The torpedoes were assembled or sold under license, or I'm not really sure, by Hayes in Tasmania. Also sold in Australia was a Warrior and an Austral, I believe. There's a Warrior in a museum at Nabiac in New South Wales. But these were sold as Spark, from the Spark brand in the UK, and that's really the only place I've found literature and anything meaningful on the internet. But it's been cool. I'm going to bring you in and let you have a look at the bike and tell you what I like and tell you what, oh no, there isn't anything I don't like. It's a cool little bike. I really like it, but I'm fond of a tiddler. So 250cc Villiers, direct drive. Let's have a look. So I'm just shooting with my iPhone because I lost my GoPro for some reason. So forgive the footage if it gets a bit shaky. I'm old. So here's the front end and here's the wheels. The hubs, as I say, besides being a bit dusty, have got bearings in them, ball bearings, and you can see that inside. And I believe they're metric. For the purists, that's horrendous, but for the rest of us, we can live with it. Let's have a look at the front end. So just a girder fork front end, well, fairly heavy. The bars, I've seen lighter weight things pressed on around lugs and perhaps brazed or sweated in. This very much reminds me of Triumph or a Junior, and it looks to be complete and in good condition. There's a few bolts and nuts and things missing, and some of it's loose fitted, and that's okay, and I can live with that. The tank's probably the feature of the bike. It looks like a Torpedo. It's underslung in the frame, or slung under the frame, but mounted at the front and at the back. The cool thing is a fuel cap and an oil cap. Now, the astute amongst you will notice that they're actually Welsh plugs. They're 2-inch Welsh plugs that the engine builder, Rory, cleverly machined the outside of. Let me get that off for you. Machined the outside and put a little knurl in it, and then threaded the inside. Now it is thin, but heavens, where do you find matching fuel caps these days? It's pretty difficult. And I'll talk more about that in another episode. But I reckon they look really cool. They've come out really, really well. Let's have a look at the engine. So it's a 250cc Villiers, and it's correct for the year. The engine numbers, referencing the guy who built it, are for 1922. And I believe Rory, he's got tons of spares, and he put this together, and it does run, and I have spoken to him. So I'm really pleased to have a functioning engine. Everything works, everything's rebuilt, it's ready to go. That was super. I was naughty and I didn't show you the fuel pipe. I made the fuel pipe the other day in a fit of excitement. I've had the bike a while, a few months, and I got distracted and I pushed it under the bench, and then I don't know why last week I got it out and thought I better get going. So the fuel pipe wasn't difficult. Fittings at each end, silver soldered them in. And then I had a fuel tap. Yes, I know it's not correct. And I can live with that. It doesn't worry me. Weirdly, I had to machine the piece that goes into the tank. It's 3/8 cycle thread into the tank. And so I took the bottom off the fuel tap, put it in the lathe, cut the thread off that was on it, and cut a new thread. In it went, copper washer, job's done. Waiting for a sealing kit to come. And then I'm going to seal the tank, and then I'll begin the process of painting. It's got a little oil pump on it, and I will mock that up so that it looks right. I don't know that the engine will need oiling with modern two-strokes, but I'll speak to Rory about that. Rear wheel. I don't know. Rear wheel is a rear wheel. It's a belt drive. I believe the rim to be correct. The belt rim, that is. The rim, I believe, to be correct, and the hub, I believe, to be a modern replacement. I could be wrong about all of the above, but it's certainly been respoked, and it's got new tyres. It's got new bolts holding the frame together, and I machined up a seat clamp post the other day. I have a Brooks saddle, late teens, early 20s, and it's off getting recovered. This bolt taps back through the shaft. There's a hole in the middle of the shaft. I just used solid bar because that's what I had. Nice oval tube frame, or oval tubed in the back half. And I've got to build the whole braking and footrest assembly. Weirdly, it's got dual brake pedals. But we'll get to that. The other side of the engine, and it's as clean as a whistle. It's got, pulley on it, pulleys line up, C-section 88 or 89 inch belt, and we'll see about that in the coming days too. I've got one of those on order. It is meant to be direct drive. There was no jockey wheel, there was no gearbox. It was a basic bike, and because I don't ride a super amount, I'm probably going to leave it that way. So here's the bars. They're very flat. I popped some grips on the end, and I've got a little decompression lever. It's not a super lever. I don't really love it. That came with the bike. I've got a Villiers throttle lever, probably lawnmower or agricultural machinery. I don't super love it, but in the absence of something else, that's going to do just fine for now. That really is about how simple the bike is. There's not an awful lot to do, but there is a lot to do. So the whole footrest assembly, and I'll do some episodes about that, and that might be intriguing for people. Here's on the bench. This is the rest of what I got with the bike. So it had a head stem in it when I got it, or a bicycle one, to move it around because Mikey had the bars away just having a little tidy up on them. And he sent them later. I got a magneto cover. It's a little bit ratty, but it is an original one, and it does fit really, really, really well. So we'll see about that. I am told that the reproductions can be slightly challenging in fit and are not super accurate, and that a genuine one might be a better way to go. Got a carbide canister that's in a bit sad condition. I have some others that are in slightly better condition, but nonetheless, that's great for parts or to tap out or to repair, so that's all right. A couple of bends that would serve as header pipes on a period correct exhaust. They appear to have had two pong boxes, as I call them, when they were new, but one will probably do the job in the absence of finding the correct thing. Just a bracket of some description, a tail light that's in relatively sad condition, but it is what it is. Couple more levers, a pair of grips, and a headlight that's cleanish, nice inside, got a few cracks, but not too bad, a few repairs, and will probably tidy up okay. And I'll probably put it on after I've got a registration permit to ride it. Doesn't have to have headlights if it didn't come out with them, but I'll probably put it on. If you put them on, they have to work. And I got a pair of Repop guards that are clean, tidy. They look good. Got to make brackets, got to make stays. I can live with all of that. There you go. That's Flat Tank Journey for another week or month or year. I am sorry it's been so long, but this is real life. I'm not buying projects trying to be a content creator and post 3 or 4 times a week. This is real life. It takes time to save money. You get distracted by other things and you do other things, and you got family and travel and COVID and all that sort of stuff. So this is real life. This is what happens. This is an additional project, so I'm really pleased about it. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want. Send me a message. I like to try and reply if I can. Have a great weekend and keep riding. Cheers.